Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Wonderfully Made. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today I have a review of the I Love Brunch Pro palette by Lorac. This is part of their Spring 2017 collection. This palette has all pastel colors in it, and this is what the box looks like. This is what the palette looks like. It also came with a double-sided brush. What did I do with it? It also came with the dual-ended brush, and this is what that looks like, as well as a Lorac behind-the-scenes eyeshadow primer, which this is a really good eyeshadow primer. I think they include one of these eyeshadow primers in all of their eyeshadow palettes, but yes, so now this dual-ended brush reminds me a lot of the dual-ended brushes that have been in the most recent Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow palettes. It's really nice. In my opinion, it's not as soft as the ones from Anastasia Beverly Hills, but it is an eyeshadow brush that you could use if you needed to use it. And so yeah, this is what the brush looks like. The palette is a nice size palette. It's not too big, it's not too small. It comes with a really nice mirror. I don't want to blind you, but that's what the mirror looks like. And it comes with 16 pastel colors, and I'm going to hold the palette like this so my lighting doesn't wash it out. But yeah, these are the colors. So I'm not going to even play around with this. I'm just going to tell you right now, this palette is going back. The look that you see on my eyes right now is pretty much not this palette. I am going to insert a demo of me trying to create a look with this eyeshadow palette, but I simply could not. The eyeshadows were powdery. They would not adhere to my eyelids at all. The colors were washed out on my skin tone. Now these colors may work for someone of a lighter skin tone, but they absolutely did not work for me. And this palette is going back. I mean, yeah. With that being said, though, I am going to go ahead and swatch these shadows for you real quickly. So this first shade is Lavender. This next shade is called Eggs Benny. This shade is called Gluten Free. And this next shade is called Hot Sauce. And as you can see, these shades barely swatch on me. So this is what that first row looked like on my skin tone. I mean, you can barely even see the colors. So if it's swatching like this on my hand, you can imagine how it was looking on my eyelids. I'm going to swatch the second row. So this is Jelly Donut, Pancakes, Sorbet, and Valet. Again, and as you can see, it just does, I mean, it just washes completely out on my skin tone. And I'm like really digging in there to get some color onto my fingers. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm not trying to get enough color on my hand. This one is called Bloody Mary, Blueberry Scone, Macaroni, and Avocado Toast. I really wanted to use this shade here. It's a mint green shade. This is a yellow shade. This is a blue shade. And this is a peachy orangey shade. Now this row swatch is better than the first two rows, but still on my eyelids, I had absolutely no luck. Now for the last row, again, I'm really digging my fingers in there to get as much product on my fingers as I can. This shade is called Mimosa, Smoothie, French Toast, and Sunday Fun Day. And as you can see, it's just flaking off of my hand. That's what it looks like on my hand. I will admit that my lighting is washing the color out a little bit on camera, but this is a matte peachy shade. This is a satin lavender shade. This is almost an old gold shade. This shade has a mauvey peachy color to it, but I mean the colors are absolutely beautiful in the pan. Sorry guys, I'm still getting over this darn cold yet, but I'm gonna try to hold it like this so you can really see the colors. I mean the colors are absolutely stunning in the pan, but transferring that color to my eyelids just did not work. And with that being said, I'm going to insert the demo here. So I'm starting off with my foundation and pretty much my face already done. And I'm going in with a MAC paint pot. I'm using the shade Painterly because I figured I needed a cream base, number one, to help the eyeshadows stick a little bit, but also to help these colors show on my eyelids. So now I'm going to use the shade Mimosa to set that paint pot. And I'm just going to place this all over my eyelids. And I really like this shade actually. It's a peachy matte shade and it's a really good transitional shade. So this is probably one of the only shades in the palette that I can say I really like. Next, I'm using the shade Hot Sauce. And I'm using this just to try to warm up the crease a little bit. This shade is also a peachy orange shade, but it's a little bit deeper than the Mimosa shade. So yeah, I'm just attempting to build the crease a little bit. The next shade I am going to use is called Sorbet, and it is a muted mauve, almost purple shade. And I thought that this was going to deepen the crease a little bit, but it actually, I don't know, it's a little bit lighter than the Hot Sauce shade that I used. And it actually came across looking a little bit ashy on me. And so I was trying to find a shade that I could use to, I don't know, make it pop a little bit more. And so I used the shade Lavender just to kind of bring out that springy lavender shade, because at this point I realized that there wasn't going to be a shade in this palette that I could use to deepen my crease. And then I just started patting on the shade Avocado Toast, which is a beautiful mint shade, because at this point I'm just like embracing the pastels and trying to create a pastel look. And so in my outer V area, I'm using the shade Smoothie, which is also a lavender shade, but it has more of a satin finish. And you see me shaking my hair because it wasn't working. And so I had to use another palette to get that deeper purple color that I needed to make this look like a cohesive eyeshadow look. So be warned that this is not an eyeshadow palette that you will be able to use by itself. And here I'm just packing on the colors. I will keep going back and forth between the blueberry scone shade and the avocado toast and a little bit of the lavender, trying desperately to get the shadows to adhere to my lids and just stay put, but the shadows were just not staying put. And now I'm using the shade Moonlight in my inner tear duct, but again, that vibrant pastel yellow color that I was hoping for, it just was not there. I can't even tell you how many times I went back into the palette to get more color to add on my lids. I mean, I just was patting these colors on, but by the time I blinked, the colors had pretty much faded. So yeah, this is not going to be a standalone palette, and the eyeshadows just blend into each other. So I used other eyeshadow palettes for the outer V area only and my lower lash line. Everything on my lid space is from this palette, and as you've seen and will see, the colors just pretty much blended together. And so yeah, this palette was a bit of a fail for me, a bit of a disappointment, and so there you have it. So I'm going to insert a picture so you'll have a better look at what I'm talking about when I say the colors just kind of blended together, even though I was trying to get all three colors to show. You see here, it just blended into each other. So as you can see from the demo, I just really could not make this eyeshadow palette work for me. I had to use other eyeshadow palettes. For my inner tear duct, I ended up having to go in with the yellow eyeliner, and I used this shade. I ended up using this yellow shade called Moonlight on top of that eyeliner for my inner tear duct. But the other colors that you see, they're really colors from other palettes that I applied off camera because I had to create a decent look. Yeah, I mean, it just did not work for me at all. This is an absolute pass for me. I did use MAC's Paint Pot as a base, thinking that that would help the colors show a little bit, because I had a stinking suspicion that these colors might not show up as well or as vibrant as I would have wanted them to. So I used a paint pot underneath, and it just didn't work for me. I think the only way I could get these colors to work for me is if I were to use an eyeshadow base or some sort of cream eyeshadow within the same color family as the color that I'm trying to use. But nobody has time for all that, okay? So I'm sorry, this was just a total failure for me. Usually when I get an eyeshadow palette and it's hard to blend, or even if it's not as pigmented as I would like it to be, but I can build the color, and it may just take me a little bit longer to blend the colors out, but I can blend it out. This just did not work for me, and I'm one of those people who really hate to return things, but this is going back. I will never use this, so it's absolutely going back. I also purchased one of the lip glosses, and this one is in the shade Barista, and it is a peachy nude shade, but I think I'm going to return this too. I really didn't need another lip gloss, but I went ahead and bought it thinking that the palette might work, and so I was going to try to create a look using the palette and the lip gloss. But when the palette wasn't working out for me, I didn't even bother to try the lip gloss. But I do like Lorac's lip glosses. I'm not going to ramble any longer about this eyeshadow palette. It did not work for me. That does not mean it won't work for you. It may work better on people with lighter skin tones, but no, total failure for me. So yeah, that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by my channel. I really appreciate it. If you have stumbled upon my channel for the first time, welcome. Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification button so you can keep up with what I have going on this channel. And to all of you, my subscribers, don't forget to make sure you enter into my giveaway. I am going to do my best because I haven't learned how to attach videos yet, but I am going to try to put a link of the video with my 500 subscriber giveaway so you guys can remember to enter into that giveaway. So yeah, that's it for now. Thanks again. I love you guys so much for your support. As always, remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made by God, and He loves you. And I'll see you in the next video.